Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Yes, back to Rambling RunOff. My name is Robert Rios, and this is the goofiest, funniest sports podcast you're going to hear around. Yes, I know it's been a little while, but hey, we're back in town. I think there's a song called "The Boys Are Back in Town." Shout out to the homie. You know what who I'm talking about. But yes, I just say sorry for the very, very long hiatus. And if you were waiting for anything that I said before a long time ago, oopsie doopsie. But hey, don't worry. We're going to try to start pumping these shows out once a week, once again. So if you love hearing all the sports rambling, this is the place to be right now. And of course, as always, sometimes I've always had a co-host, and we also like to try to keep it fresh and new around here. And I've always had different people, of course. If you guys are long-time listeners, I've always had different people. And on this special returning episode of Rambling RunOff Sports Podcast, I have my dear friend and co-worker, Alondra Abundez. Alondra, say what's up.
Hi guys, what's up? So he brought me on because I talk too much at work. So he's like, you have too much to say, so might as well just say it in a podcast. I may sound a little idiotic and make some random comments, but like, we're here to ramble. So let's get it started.
No, yes, of course. We always get the sports rambling going around here. But I mean, how's it going? How do you feel? How do you feel being on a sports podcast? Is this the first time you've ever been on a podcast?
This is the first time I've ever been on a podcast. I'm a bit sleep deprived. I've been like getting up early to watch some of the World Cup games. How about you?
Well, I hope you're prepared to go at least an hour, 45 minutes to an hour in this programming.
I mean, we might have to pull off an all-nighter because we have 2 a.m. games happening again. So who knows?
Well, to answer your other question, I am doing great. Life is a little bit better. But we are not doing an all-nighter because I've done a 2-hour show before and it was great, but very tiring. And it's 8 p.m. here, West Coast time. So as of this recording. So no, we're not doing that today, unfortunately.
Okay.
But yeah. What you got? But what?
But yeah, who knows? Who knows, maybe next time.
Oh,
we might have a longer We might have a longer conversation.
You're still new to this. I got some tricks up my sleeve. Don't worry.
Okay.
But yeah,
we'll figure this out.
I appreciate you taking the time today to come onto my show. I appreciate it a lot. I usually like I've had multiple guests on here. So yeah, it's good to have new faces, new voices on here. But yeah, thank you so much. Alondra, really quick though. Since you are fresh to the show, is there anything you want to tell the people about yourself really quick before we get this show on the road?
Well, I'm a person who is non-athletic, who cannot play any sports, but somehow has like 3 different applications just to keep up with the Premier League. So no athletic bone in her body. If you give her a soccer ball, she'll be the first one to fall off the field, or first one to hurt herself, but she's willing to watch a game.
Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons why I could back up Alondra's statement. Like the other day, we were at work and our other coworker was like, man, Alondra knows all about like all the soccer players. Like, how does she know all this? I don't know nobody. I'm like, I don't know, man. You gotta go talk to her, bro, and figure it out. Like, it ain't that hard. It is what it is, you know? But yeah, Alondra's very well versed in the sports world. So that's why I have her on today. But yeah, once again, for like the 3rd time in the first couple minutes, thank you for being on my show. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, alrighty then. Are you ready to start the rambling?
Let's start rambling.
All right. So on today's show, guys, we're gonna be talking some World Cup, specifically the U.S. men's national team. Then we also got some NFL. I don't even know what to call it. I was gonna try to think of a funny segment, but it's just the wild, crazy world of the NFL, which never disappoints. We also got some video game news in the warm up. Yeah, we still got that going around, and then and the rundown. We're just gonna be doing some recapping on some stuff and a little bit of breaking news that Alondra luckily brought up right before we started recording. So yeah, I hope you guys are buckled in and ready to go. And yeah, let's get that rambling. So Alondra, our first thing, as I just mentioned, FIFA World Cup, US men's national team. They played Wales in their opening group stage game. The ending score was 1-1 with a goal by Tim Weah, assisted by Christian Pulisic, and the tying goal, which was a penalty by Gareth Bale in the 82nd minute. The US dominated that first half, but Wales was able to flip it on them. But the US still looked pretty good. What would you say would be your opinion on the game from the past couple of days?
Well, my opinion for starters is the United States showed the world that even though we call it soccer, we have players who can actually perform in high stakes. We have the youngest team there, yet they were the first ones to score. They kept going. They were controlling the midfield, but sadly, Zimmerman Zimmerman did a dirty foul in the box, so we had to concede a penalty. But besides that, there was lots of like teamwork. There was a bunch of communication in the midfield. Tyler Adams was an amazing captain. Christian Pulisic up front kept contributing. Yet we didn't have enough finishes, but the plays were there. How about you? What was your opinion on the
Well, I
game?
mean, you just took the words right out of my mouth. Especially the part Tyler Adams. Which fun fact, I believe he is the youngest captain to ever, well, captain a team in the World Cup, which I think he's only 20, right? 19, 20.
20 or I think he's 20, like 23. Let's Google this.
Yes, if you could look that up really quick. But yeah, just continuing off of that, yeah, I felt like the team was very concise in that first half. There was a lot of communicating. They were very aggressive. Like we saw, they got two early yellows, even though I don't want to say that that ref was terrible, but we all know everyone in listening to this can agree you're thinking about it. But
He
yeah,
was
those,
really bad.
yeah, it was, I would also just be, my opinion is, yeah, that ref was very out of pocket, very inconsistent. But of course, you don't want to always rely on the referee bailing you out. But yeah, they were aggressive. They were talking. All of their passes were on point, in my opinion, in that first half. The second half, Wales made a sub, moved some things around, and then the US was like, all right, what do we do? Like, it wasn't, they didn't panic, I think. Well, a little bit. That penalty, they kind of did panic. They were scrambling.
You were with me watching the second game, and I kept calling out for Giovanni Reina. It never happened, and I think we needed him during that second half because when you have a 6'6" goalie, you need somebody tall in that box. You need somebody with fresh legs, with the speed to contribute to goals. I felt like some of our substitutions were great. Mr. Acosta came on. He made a great foul against his coworker at LAFC, but it helped the game. It helped us not conceive another goal. But I think if we would have put Giovanni Reina in, the situation would have been different.
No, that's why I was like seeing through all the social medias that I follow. Like, there, like we got Yedlin over Scally, and we got Jordan Morris over Gio Reyna. I mean, I love the Brandon Aronson sub. He'll make everyone out there freaking run their asses off. I think I even told you, I was like, watch, they're gonna turn into a track team right now, and they kind of did for a bit, but the legs were there, but I know the vision wasn't there. I know there's one player in particular. I think Tim Weah was on that top right side in the second half. And, I forgot who got the ball, but he was on. All he had to do was give it to him and possibly go 1v1 with the goalie, or 1v2 with the goalie and the defender, and you could have had a scoring chance. Like the plays were there. It's just they weren't finishing. I know there was also a possession where Pulisic had the ball and he crossed it in. I think Weston McKennie had a chance to head it in and he whiffed. because I think he saw his teammate was right next to him. He's like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't touch it," and he did it at the last second. He moved forward and was like, "Wait, I'll let it go." It's like, dude,
You could have
even
had it.
even if the goalie were to catch it or deflect it, like, dude, get a shot on goal, get it in between
Yes.
the posts, do something. Like, there's teams out there that are known for just scoring goals, but they're not pretty, but they get goals. That's the only stat that matters in soccer. No possession, no save, not even saves, in my opinion. It's all about the numbers on the scoreboard.
I mean, but we're talking about saves. Turner's save was amazing. He showed that he deserved that number one goalie spot for the men's national team by his save. And he the first half he had it easy. He had control and everything, but that second half when Rose was attacking, he really showed why he deserved that first start, why they rely so much on him.
No, yeah, they put him to work, especially that
They
one save that he had, that free header, point blank. He was able. It was that ball was dipping down right when he hit it, and he was able to deflect it over the bar. Unfortunately, he did concede that penalty, but I am seeing people are noticing in the replay the guy from Wales grabbed the ball right
Before it
before
was
it
out of
rolled,
play.
which, like, it's whatever. This ref was very inconsistent, especially in that last. There was two incidences where a Wales player, I think he fouled Brandon Aronson. I think it was the striker or one of the midfielders, fouled Aronson. No ball, no contact on the ball at all. When we already, two of our guys had a yellow. Gareth Bale had a yellow. That should have been an automatic yellow, maybe even a red by his standards if he was going to
Mm-hmm.
call everything a foul. And then there was another, well, I should say two technically. No, three. Well, it's going to be three. I know one of our guys went down. I think Musa went down, and then one of the Wales players went down, and then Pulisic went down. Okay, Pulisic went down, but the referee didn't stop the match. For the other two guys that went down, he stopped the match. Come on,
He
bro. How
stopped
you
the
gonna
match
be
for the two
inconsistent?
whale guys. For the two Walish players, he stopped the match. Yet
He stopped
they
it for
kept
Musa as
complaining.
well,
Yeah, they kept sort of like arguing with him, like, why do you keep stopping when it's like our play type of situation?
and it's not a
So
head
Pulisic,
injury.
yeah. So Pulisic went down. He's like, fine, not gonna stop this one. It's like guy was over here. They're over here breaking his leg. Somehow he survived the battlefield, but still, it's like,
Yeah, it did look rough on the Wales players because they waited to do their subs, but still, it was like it was still a harsh match to even watch. Like, I was saying, I'm like, dude, I'm shaking. Like, I was eating food, like shoving it into my mouth, trying to watch the game. I'm like, I am stress eating. I cannot do this. Like, what is going to happen? And yeah, that Kellen Acosta play like came in clutch because we didn't mention, but Turner was off his out of the penalty area, out of the box, and Gareth Bale was going for goal. He was going to try to to end the game there. And yeah, Acosta didn't, if Costa, excuse me, Costa didn't foul him, like, that would have been it. We would have The US would have gone with no points because they would have lost 2-1 because they were not going to score the rest of that second half unless they just got lucky.
I wish we had more goals, but I was happy with the tie because you could see how much they were actually playing. They were trying. I wanted personally more goals because earlier that day we saw England win 6-2. And
Yes.
since we're going up against England on Friday, we kind of want that goal buffer just in case.
Yeah. That was another thing that I saw on the socials. Like, goal differential is going to play a huge factor now,
Hmm.
possibly, especially if the US plays mediocrely as they did against Saudi Arabia and Japan, which Japan has always been good. Saudi Arabia, like I said, in the 2018 World Cup, they were god awful. Like, they were just playing shit. Like, how do you
Hmm.
lose the opening match 7-0? You got your own president in the stadium watching you guys lose that way. And hey, they turned it around. So who knows if the US in that last friendly were actually bad or if Saudi Arabia was really good, even though they're playing their B team. So the
Hmm.
world may never know, as they say. But yeah, if they come out and play the same way they did against Wales, they should be fine, I believe, because Wales is they're a football country. Like they know how to play. Like they're not kidding around. Like yeah, they haven't been to a World Cup in a really long time, just like 1960, 1950, whatever the stat may be, the timeline was. But
Hmm.
if we played the way we did in that first half, at least not in that first half, if they play in spurts as well as they did in that first game, they should be fine against England. But if they play as bad as they did the past 2 years, in my opinion, like they are in a it's not gonna be 6-2, but they're gonna be in a world of pain. And the name of the game in soccer is don't look stupid, don't look silly. Even if you win.
I think our best bet going in against England would be to start to actually sub in our Premier League players because a bunch of them work with the England squad. So give them a bit of a break. Sub in Christian Pulisic, sub in like Brendan Aronson at that second half to give them that burst of speed type of situation. Especially since a bunch of them are playing teammates are on the England team. They know their weaknesses, they know what plays they do. So just giving that bit of a sneak attack might help us. I think we need our Premier League players to maybe be subbed in, maybe like have like Pulisic come in at that second half to give sort of that fresh legs against England. Because I'm like half his teammates are on the England squad right now, so like they know his plays, they know how he likes to play. So if we start him off too early, we might get him tired and it might be a little more predictable.
I mean, you think so? I mean, like, if you think about it, like, what do we do that's predictable in a way? Like, they know we're gonna give the ball to Christian Pulisic. Like, a lot of those guys, like I said, like, they play in the Prem, they play in Europe, they've seen the way he plays. Like, we got a couple other people playing in the Premier League as well. Like, we're very inconsistent. So, what are you gonna be waiting for? Are you gonna be waiting for us to mess up the whole time, or what? Like, what if we catch the three lions off guard in this game? But well, I mean, we'd have to wait and see because, like I said, like the U.S. has always been the past 2 to 3 years they've been very inconsistent, and the only consistency that they have been consistent in is being inconsistent.
True
Which,
that.
because how many times have we been like, oh wow, like they're playing really good, and then like they go play an away game and then they just suck. It's like, oh damn it, like you guys just won 2 days ago. What happened?
So a part of me thinks we're gonna have Thanksgiving on our sides. For some reason, I'm like, the game's right after Thanksgiving. The guys are gonna be like bonding, having maybe a meal together, celebrating like an American holiday together. So I'm like, I think that's gonna help them in a way. Be like, hey, we're celebrating together. We're a family. Let's prove this communication skills on the field and show England that we're not the prey. Like we're the predators. Like we're coming for you. There's a new revolution coming and it's called soccer. Get ready for the World Cup in 2026 when the United States host. The
I love
fans are
it.
ready for it and I think our team's ready for it too.
We call it soccer, bro. I mean, we call it soccer, bruv.
I mean, it's called soccer. Even though like the inner Latina in me is like, is it really? Because growing up in a Mexican household, it's like fútbol mexicano versus fútbol americano. So it's like you gotta keep it traditional and just keep soccer, keep it basic, but
That
keep
is
it
that is
there.
yeah, that's true. I mean, like for me, like whenever it comes down to that, I mean, I don't want to go on like a too big of a side tangent, but like I'll say soccer like nonchalantly, but like in some forms, I'll also say football because people understand football, like when I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying it. Or if I need to differentiate two, I'll say one of two things. I'll say tackle football or American football, or if you get American football and football confused, I say world football because it's the world's game. But unless
Exactly.
you're the guys from CBS and they think they're funny, and the host asks them, who is the greatest American footballer of all time? And one of the guys goes, Tom Brady.
It's like It's like,
Do you get what they? Yeah,
yes, it's like, it's a very broad question since we have two types of footballs in the States.
yeah. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, obviously they were like he was joking, but he meant. I know what he. They all know what the joke was, but
Yep.
yeah, you have to differentiate the two sometimes. But yeah. For me in this U.S. matchup against England on Black Friday, out of all days, um, I'm expecting a good match. Like I said earlier, as long as they play the way they did this game, they should be fine. I remember in 2010 when they played England and South Africa. I think it was also the opening match as well. No, well, yeah, it was the opening match. I think they had Steven Gerrard. They were supposed to have David Beckham.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, England had their backup goalie and he fumbled the ball, and that's how Clint Dempsey scored. Like, oh man, like I remember sitting in my living room, like watching that game, like if it was yesterday, like in the middle of the day, not like these games early in the morning, which kind of sucks. But hey, football is always on 365, anywhere, the street, indoor, outdoor stadium, don't matter. But yeah, um,
Mm-hmm.
I just hope they get to hold their own in that game. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a great game. Both squads are going in with very young players, but you guys remember a lot of the starting players for the US team also start in the Premier League. So, yes, it's like, yes, they're inexperienced. This is like the first World Cup for like the majority of the US men's national team, but they're hungry. They want to go far. They want to prove people wrong that say Americans shouldn't be playing soccer. Like they shouldn't be the sport because they don't know what they're doing. Like you see the criticism all over Twitter. If a Premier League club messes up, guess who they blame? They blame the American on the team. Even though if it was like an England player doing that same mistake, it'll be like, it's okay, he'll fix it next time. Friday's the match to show. Like you keep bringing us down, but guess what? We're gonna rise above you, and we're gonna prove you wrong. We're gonna show you why our guys deserve to be on those top teams.
No, yeah, I totally agree. Like this is going to be the ultimate. Yeah, we played Wales, who were pretty good, but playing England, who made it to the Euros finals, who were this close, a couple penalty shots away from winning the Euros, showing this England squad, a top tier, top flight team, that the US is no one to mess around with, and that the US does deserve to be in the knockout stage and to possibly even win the group. Like if they win the game, they're gonna have 4 points in their pocket and you don't know what's going to happen
Mhm.
in the other game. So let's try to jump. Let's keep this momentum going, keep the confidence going, maybe make a few different changes, different subs. Hopefully, they're not tired out as they were in the Wales game because you could tell there were a lot of tired legs on
Mhm.
both sides of the field.
Yes.
People were struggling. I was seeing the Wales players were going down, USA players were going down. Everyone was like limping by the end of the game. It was like, oh my gosh, like are you guys good? Like, are you guys gonna even make it to Friday? Like, gosh, like it was aggressive game. It was a good game overall. Like Kami and Alondra kind of mostly said, we wish we could have walked away with the 3 points, but hey, something's better than nothing.
Exactly.
But yeah. I don't know. I mean, is that all that you have to say about the US's game this Black Friday, or do you want to we got like a little bit more time to talk about other games? You want to go into that real quick?
Let's go into that. What game do you want to talk about?
Really quick, what happened to well, as of this recording, what happened to Argentina? What the hell was that?
Oh my goodness. So I'm a Chelsea fan, but I like to say they pulled off a Chelsea versus Arsenal. They were a little too confident going into the game. They had an amazing first goal, but they got a little too cocky. And in the World Cup, you cannot get cocky. You have to be on your toes the whole time. Like you can never underestimate your opponent, even if you think you're better than them. They're gonna show you that they deserve to be there. Every single team there proved that they deserve to be there.
No, I mean this is as they say in the U.S. Open Cup, a cup set. Like, I woke up expecting maybe a rout because Saudi Arabia historically hasn't been that good. So yeah, waking up at 5 in the morning after the game just finished, seeing a 2-1 scoreline as very interesting. Like what?
It's insane because it's like it's Messi's like last World Cup. So like you know me. We've been talking about this. I've always been saying like I think we might have either like Argentina, Brazil, or like Portugal, like my top three teams to be in that final. But the way Argentina started, they're a little rocky. Like they had to play catch up.
I mean, I did see there was those, I think, 2 or 3 offside calls on the field. So
Yes.
I mean, I would say, like I said, with the U.S. and Wales game, you don't want the referee to dictate how the game ends, but
Mm-mm.
you also, even doesn't matter who the competition is, you gotta play out. You gotta show like, yeah, this is Messi's his most likely his last hurrah. So it was pretty disappointing to see that. Um, and I want to say another thing I'd like to point out. Well, actually, no, we already kind of did. Dude, that 6-2 England over Iran. Like, what the hell was that?
I mean, they showed their skill. It was a smart game plan because they gave themselves that 4 point buffer, which
Yeah,
and all points matter. So like you want to score points in order to make sure you qualify, but that you saw all their talent scoring from people who've been there like in past World Cups to like this being their first one. Like you see everybody contributing. You see how much they want it as well. Like again, they're a young squad. Some of the players are very inexperienced, but they're hungry for it. And I think that's what a World Cup is all about. A team that's hungry for it is always gonna give a good game.
that is also true. I mean, just to start kind of wrapping it up a bit. Well, before this, and I'm asking one more question before we move on. Ecuador, for example, goose egged Qatar, the host nation, 2-0 in the opening match. I mean, like how you said, like whoever wants it more is gonna go for the hunt, and
Hmm.
they're gonna go all out, right?
Yeah, you can never underestimate a team, even if you're like, oh, this was like a week. This team was like the last one to qualify from their department, or like they barely qualified. Guess what? They're there for a reason. They're still gonna strive for it. They want to prove that they're there. They want their voices to be heard. They're like, even if even if we only play 4 games in the World Cup, we want to give it our all.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, like I said, in soccer, win, lose, or draw, you don't want to look stupid. You don't want to look silly.
Mm-mm. I was gonna quickly ask you, did you
But
see the France versus Australia game?
I did see, yeah, I did see most of it. I'll quickly say Australia getting the first goal is like, whoa, are we gonna have part two
Mhm.
of the morning? But no, France, like, they're like, hey, wait. We're France, bro. Come on.
Yes, but I still believe Australia gave them a good battle. They had France on their toes. They were like, "Hey, you're the previous champion. Show us what you're about. We want like a good game. We're not here just to play footsie like footsies. Like we want an entertaining like 90 minutes. Like the people are tuning in. We want to show them that yes, we might not be one of the best teams, but we're here to give it our all." And that first goal was amazing. They kept France going, and then, but France powerhouse.
They turned on the afterburners.
Yes.
But yeah, good on France. Just a quick note. The last 4 out of 5 reigning World Cup winners have not made it out of the group stage. Uh,
Hmm.
the first one to get knocked out of the group stage, starting that trend, was France in 2002. So just to
Yes.
point that out. But so good thing they won their first game because usually if you lose your first game, you're done.
Yeah.
That's just it.
S-
That's just the way
And
the cookie crumbles.
see, I'm glad you brought that up because I believe in that superstition. So part of me is like, I want the US men's team to make it far, but I don't want them to win this World Cup. I want them to win the World Cup we host. Because I'm like, if they win this one, I don't want that trend to continue. Like, I don't want that bad juju. Like, let them get far as they can, prove that they deserve to be there, but let them bring the trophy home in 2026.
Because then you don't want the curse to come back over here.
Exactly. We do not want the curse.
That is also true. But yeah, we've talked a lot about the England USA matchup. Give me your prediction so we can wrap this thing up right here.
Ooh. I have a feeling it might be tied. We might have a 2-2. I have a feeling
2-2? Who's getting the
we might have a
goals?
2. I personally want Christian Pulisic to score against England because of all
Yeah.
the shit they talk about him on Twitter, like prove
Yeah,
them wrong.
exactly. Uh-huh.
And I kind of want the Leeds American boy to score again, Mr. Brendan Aronson. The Leeds fans call him the American boy. Let's show them what let him score against England.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go what the score line should have been in the last game. I'm gonna go 2-1. I'm gonna say we go down first, then we get the two
Mhm.
goals to a goose egg 'em, theoretically unanswered, and we go home with the 3 points. I
Mhm.
mean, it's gonna be a very hard tussle. It's gonna be a grind, but I think our boys can do it.
They could do it. I believe. It's very cheesy, but like I believe.
I'm already getting nervous thinking about it.
Mhm.
But
I really like.
is there anything else you would like to add on, or can we start moving on in our show here?
I mean, we could start moving on. What's your next topic?
Well, I'm glad you said that because from, as I said, world football to American tackle football, we go. Are you ready for that?
Okay. See,
Alrighty
uh,
then.
mm, a, the
So,
a girl knows mostly about like halftime shows, but like we'll
oh
roll with
gosh.
this. We'll figure this out.
No, of course. You did your homework correct, right? See?
Oh yeah,
A little bit. All right. I mean, we're not gonna go nothing too crazy. It's not gonna be stat heavy. We're just gonna kind of just want to go over how crazy this whole. I feel like every NFL season, we're going to the NFL now. The wacky world of the NFL has just been a crapshoot because you never know what's gonna happen, and the
yeah. It's an
games have just
emotional
been
roller
bonkers.
coaster.
Yeah, and like we like how we just thought we like soccer. It's like nerve wracking, and like it just doesn't make any sense as someone who grew up watching football all the time. It's like, what am I watching? Like, okay, my team's gonna win, and then they lose by like a last second field goal or a last second touchdown. It's like, wait a minute, like I wasn't ready for this. Like we've already had like two or three like tight games the past couple of weeks. We've had a couple of blowouts. I think last week we had that Vikings Bills game, which if I remember correctly, I think the Vikings came out on top, which I gotta double check because I do remember that was an OT thriller because I think the Vikings came back to win. I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, like it's very competitive, but also very unpredictable. That's like okay, like what did I just watch? Oh, here we go.
It,
Yeah, the Vikings were victorious, 33-30. They won in overtime, bruh.
that that point difference is like insane. It's literally that sport that keeps you on your toes. It's like you leave to go grab a snack or go take a restroom break and you're just like, what is happening? Like I thought we were up, now it's like you're playing with my emotions. Like it's
Yeah,
stressful.
exactly. Yeah, and especially because like it's you score a touchdown, you get 6 points, and you can either get
Hmm.
one point or extra two extra points. But like in these cases, like we had another tight game. On Sunday, the Chargers and who they play? Was it Kansas City? Yeah, it was another tight game, 30-27. Like, oh, like how? Like, why do you put people in this much stress? Like, imagine you're a Chiefs fan or a Chargers fan. I mean, the Chargers are 5-5 right now. They're okay, but you have to play a good opponent like the Chiefs, and Yeah, they lost, but hey, they put up a good fight still. I mean, the scoreline reads, the Chargers were leading throughout the game, and in the fourth quarter, the Chiefs just came back and won the game. So, like you said, it's like an emotional roller coaster, and I feel like that's what this season's kind of been, considering like you still have Tom Brady, who's, I mean, as of right now, the Bucks are they're struggling, bro. Like,
Mhm.
no BSing. Like,
They're down there.
oh yeah, they're down in the dump. No, actually, well, they're down in the dumps figuratively because they haven't really been as dominant, but they're still in first place of the NFC South.
Yeah.
But they're not as scary as they were before. Because yeah, they're fourth place, 5-5. Like, that's still a pretty bad record. Um, yeah, I just don't. It's hard for me to elaborate on who is the best. There is one really good team. I can tell you who that is. That's the Philadelphia Eagles. Who, if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, you should be flying high in the sky right now, because dude, they are tearing it up. But back to my point that this is the wacky wild NFL. They were undefeated, and then just for no reason at all, they played a typical Monday night football game, and they lost to the Washington Commanders. The
Y-
Washington
y-
Commanders, who are currently eighth with a record of where'd it go? I just had it. 6-5. Like, come on, how y'all gonna be undefeated and lose to these guys? And the Commanders are not good. They are not good. Their record says
See,
different.
Philly is like playing with my emotions. Like I'm still a little upset about the MLS championship. I was like rooting for
Oh
Philly,
gosh. Oh
play
no.
with my emotions there,
Uh-oh.
and now it's like, come on, like you're like Eagles, you're there, like you're almost there, like you can't fall off, like keep striving. Your team is depending on you. They already had one team lose one championship. You guys have like one of the best records. Like just fly, like just soar in the sky.
Actually, they had two teams lose in the same day. The Phillies, remember, they're playing. Yeah,
Oh,
you want to talk about that no more. Okay.
no, 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 no.
It was in the same
Yeah,
day too.
that hurt. That I'm telling you. Why do you think
If
I
you're
was
a Philly
emotionally
sports
hurt?
fan, I am so sorry, bro, but it's just straight facts.
That day, I was like emotionally hurt. I was like, it was a sad day. It was a sad day. But guess what? They're having their comeback. They are having their comeback, which is all that matters.
Who's having their comeback?
I mean, I hope both. I hope during the MLS Philadelphia Union has a comeback, but also like the Eagles. Hopefully they start striving. Hopefully we see them during the Super Bowl. What do you?
Well, I mean,
Who
yeah,
do you
you.
think?
Well, I mean, they're 9-1. They have the best record in the league right now. I mean, they're number one overall. Like, yeah, you don't want them
Mm-hmm.
to. This is what happens to like same thing with the Arizona Cardinals last season. I think they started like 7-0 or 8-0, and then guess what happened? Explosions everywhere, crashed and burned, lost to the Rams in the playoffs. Get out of here, shoo shoo, get out of here. Like, bruh, like you don't want that to happen. I don't think that's gonna happen because they're already 9-1. They should already clinch, like
Yeah,
very in no short
yeah.
time.
Don't say that. Don't jinx them. Like have some faith. They're gonna fly into the Super Bowl,
Hey, I'm just spitting
and
facts, bro.
Philly's gonna have their comeback. Philly's gonna have a trophy on Super Bowl day. I hope so.
I mean, they're gonna either have to play Kansas City, Miami, Tennessee, maybe Buffalo, but you gotta wait and see what happens.
You gotta wait. We were saying it's an emotional roller coaster, and the stress levels there.
Speaking of emotional roller coaster, these damn Green Bay Packers with a record of 4-7 with Aaron Rodgers. They have no wide receivers. They have no running backs. I would I would dare say they have no type of defense. And we've seen they have no special teams as well. So what is going on? Like they suck. Like they're terrible. Like they're bad. Like even Aaron Rodgers is just over it because what? Come on, guys. Like it's not that hard. I think their best win right now is probably against the Cowboys, which isn't really much in my book. So, like, they're gonna have to do something to turn it around because as of right now in the playoff race, they are currently. Why is this not numbered? What am I looking at? Oh, here we go. Wrong one. Okay. They are currently 11th, and yeah, they're 4-7. I don't see them. I think they're done. They're done. Put stick a fork in them.
Hey, never underestimate the underdog. Anything could always happen in the sport. You never know. Comeback season's still possible, but like you should never underestimate a team.
They're 4-7. I don't think they're coming back, Alondra. Trust me.
I mean, if you say so. But like you who knows? Maybe this season might not be their comeback season, but they might get their screws in place and have an amazing next season.
Yeah, but what about this season? Like, I mean, that's it. You're just gonna call it quits? That's what's gonna happen?
Don't call it quits. Like if you're a true fan,
I mean, but they're 4 and
you root
7,
for
so I
your
think it's
team.
over. No, of course, if you're a true fan, like Green Bay for like the next 30 years have like all their home games sold out for season ticket holders. Like, 'cause they're popular. They're popular like that. Like, they got the people like that. But what are you gonna do once Aaron Rodgers leaves? Like, it's always been this whole shit show of like, all right, well, who's in charge? Aaron Rodgers or the head coach? And the head coach is never in charge. It's always Aaron Rodgers. Like, he's a very Zen-like person, but you could tell like just his presence, he tries to control everything. But like, I don't know. It's just very disappointing to see the Packers, who people thought, oh, Aaron Rodgers, he's not going to retire. He's going to help them turn this whole thing around. And like the last time he tried to retire and whatnot, they won it. It's like, okay, but that was like years ago. Like, come on, guys. Like, this isn't the same team. They traded their best receiver. I mean, even Aaron Rodgers was like, come on, guys. Even telling the front office, like, give me some help. And they've gotten nothing. And he's not helped at all with like his presence. So it's like, excuse me, like why are they like this? I don't get it. It's just very disappointing to see.
I'm gonna compare it to back to like the men's national team. We did have our down like season, but then you saw like whole revolution of bringing youth players. So we might see that revolution happen as well with American football. They're having like a rough start. They might have some patchwork that needs work. We have to like have faith. There might be like a new revolution coming, and all revolutions take time. Revolutions take time, and they just take faith. You just gotta believe a little, pray for the best.
That is true. But Aaron Rodgers is already an old man. He is not going to last another 5 seasons. I highly doubt it. Because, like you said, revolutions take time. And this revolution better start next season. Because, yeah, they're done this year. They're done. Like, that's it. Like, you got replaced by the Cowboys. That's weird to say. They're in fifth place right now with a record of 7-3. Just got Dak Prescott back as a quarterback. But yeah, like I just want come on, guys. Like, dude, even the Commanders are ahead of them. Come on, fool. Like, you guys are pretty bad. But I mean, at least they're not like the Raiders. They're just they're just something else. And they're not even the worst team in the league. They just look silly. But yeah,
Uh,
another team I kind of want to shout out as well, in a positive light, because I feel like they've been playing better than usual. The New York Jets, with the record of 6-4, they're currently in eighth place, right behind the Cincinnati Bengals that have the same record as them. You're playing pretty good. I'm surprised, because the Jets have kind of been lacking the past couple of years. I think they had Sam Darnold with them for a bit, and then he left. So it's like, hey, these guys aren't that bad. So I don't know.
it's the revolution.
It's not the revolution. Relax. But
Uh
yeah,
huh.
are you just gonna refer to everything as a revolution?
I think so. I feel like I'm very optimistic and you're very pessimistic. So like this is a good balance.
It's because I'm spitting facts, bro. I'm trying to spit facts.
I
Did you
mean, like
not
I said
read what
like
would
I
you
said
say?
previously, I'm all about that halftime show.
Okay, do you want all right, well, let me ask you, who's doing the halftime show then? If
It's
you're about that halftime
Rihanna.
show.
It's Miss Rihanna.
I had saw people posting that. I want to go. All right, a little bit of a side tangent. I saw people posting that, and I was like, "Oh, there's someone holding a football. What is this?" It wasn't until my friend told me, like, "You dummy, that's Rihanna." I'm like, "I don't know. I don't follow Rihanna's Instagram account. I don't know what her Insta tag is. Like, leave me alone."
See, I'm still living off of like last season's halftime show, and I'm very upset that when they did the next episode, they didn't do like the Compton, Long Beach, Inglewood, because I'm like that would have been like the full circle moment to do how like Kendrick on Dr. Dre from Compton, Snoop from Long Beach, and it's like they were playing in Inglewood. I'm very sad that line was not said. It's like it still lives rent free in my head, but Miss Queen Rihanna is gonna give an amazing halftime show,
You think
and
so? I mean,
I know I'm
y-
not the only one looking forward to it.
of course, it's the halftime show. So we're gonna end our wacky, wild NFL season with what type of halftime show?
It's gonna be a party. It's gonna be a party. It's gonna be like, so live your life. Hey, like she's gonna do it.
She's gonna do the damn thing.
She 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 is a businesswoman. She is a talented artist. She's gonna slay the stage. We're gonna be like, where is a football game happening during a Rihanna concert? Like everybody says, anytime there's a halftime show.
That will be the day. That would be the day, bro. But yeah. Just to move on a little bit. Let me see. Do you want? Should I do the playoff picture or the last week's score lines first? 'Cause I kind of want to talk about the 49ers. They beat the Cardinals in Mexico. Did you know that, Alondra?
I heard they played in Mexico, which is amazing.
Do you know where they played in Mexico?
Estadio Azteca, no?
Yes, just they did. And it
Oh,
was that was just like I said, it's either close games or blowouts because you can never predict what's going to happen. And yeah, they whooped them. I believe it's 32-10, I believe. But let me see. I am of course my internet chooses not to cooperate at this moment. But 38-10. Yeah, it was a shellacking. It was a whipping. They played their game at Estadio Azteca. You know, what is it? Estadio Azteca high or is it low in the ground? Which one is it? It's high, right?
it's
In the air,
elevated, yes.
elevated. So they played an an elevated game in which Jimmy G scored 4 touchdowns for their win. And yeah, the Cardinals never stood a chance. They got a record of 4-7. Niners at 6-4. What the hell are these guys doing, man? Like it was a shellacking. The Cardinal, dude. Basically, the Cards only scored their first 10 points in the first. They scored a field goal in the first quarter and then a touchdown in the second. And after that, it was all Niners. 17, 14, then 7 in those 3 quarters. Like
I mean,
it was never. It wasn't even a game. Like how could you? The only good thing about it was that it was that they played at Estadio Azteca. Like that was the only novelty about it.
like it was a bad game, but they made history. And it's crazy to me how Estadio Azteca has so much history behind it, from hosting World Cups to now hosting American football to hosting a World Cup in 2026. That stadium has seen it all, and we're seeing that transition of American sports going into different countries. They have a baseball league. They're having American football be played. Like you're seeing that influence.
No, yeah, of course. And I think they were supposed to play a game last year or 2019. I forgot. Year before or after the pandemic, in which the field at Estadio Azteca, I do remember this was abysmal. It was terrible. But Luckily, they were able to move the game to the Coliseum. I remember that. I think it was the Rams and the Chiefs, and that game was just bonkers. I don't remember the score line, but I just remember it was just a back and forth affair. And hey, they made something out of nothing, and they had got a good game out of it. But yeah, it's just interesting that the game has kind of expanded across the border, and people love football. And yeah, I think the crowd was packed in there.
I have a quick question for you. So, since El Estadio Azteca is elevated, did that impact the football players? What impact do you think that had on the scoreline?
I mean, maybe. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals play in an indoor stadium and the Niners play in an outdoor stadium, but also they're both playing on the same even field. So if both teams were already equally fatigued or equally physically fit, then yeah, you could say that the high altitude affected their play. But of course, there had to be a winner, and in this case, the winner whipped that ass, and yeah, the 49ers came out the victor. I don't know how about the map bros.
I know.
But yeah, that was that Monday Night Football game on ESPN. Just to move on to go over the playoff picture currently. I know I've already kind of planted some seeds on what's going on. Currently in the playoff picture in the AFC, we have the Kansas City Chiefs at number 1. Then we have the Miami Dolphins at number 2 and first place of the AFC East. Number 3, we have the Tennessee Titans, first the AFC South, 7-3. And then fourth, we have the AFC North leaders, the Ravens of Baltimore. Coming in at number 5, we got the Bills, which, wait a minute. All right, someone has this wrong. ESPN has this flip. They have the Bills in fourth, and on NFLnetwork.com, they have the Ravens in fourth. All right, one of you fools is wrong. But anyways, we got the Patriots at number 6, and we got the Bengals at number 7, in the chase at least. On the bubble, we got the Jets, the Chargers, the Colts, Jaguars, and somehow the damn Raiders. What the hell? Man, you guys are out. There's no way you guys are making it. Get out of here with that crap. But I digress. On the other hand, on the NFC side, like I said, we got the Eagles number 1, we got the Vikings number 2, and the NFC North. We got the 49ers, who I just mentioned, first NFC. Then we got the Bucks at 5-5 with the worst record in this run right now. It's pretty bad. The NFC South is struggling. You got the Cowboys at number 5. Then you got the Giants, who I guess you could say another uprising, good surprise team this season, 7-3, third in the NFC East. Then you got the Seahawks really in at 7. On the bubble, these damn Washington Commanders. What the hell, bro? There's no way. I highly doubt they'll make it. You got the Falcons trailing the Lions. What? Why do you guys still have the Packers on here, bro? We got the Saints, then we got the Cardinals, the Rams, and then the Panthers, and so on. But what the hell? Do you have the Rams on this list? No, the Bears? What the hell? Oh my gosh. Someone's got to redo this whole entire website. What is wrong with y'all? But yeah, that's the way the cookie is crumbling at the moment. One other thing to point out before we start moving on, we do have, depending on when you're listening to this podcast, we got some more football, some more American Tackle football on Gobble Gobble Day on Thanksgiving. At 9:30 a.m. PST on CBS, we got the Bills versus the Lions. 1:30 p.m. PST, we got on Fox, we got the Giants versus the Cowboys, which should be a good game, a good rivalry. Then at 5:20 p.m. PST on NBC, we got the Patriots going up against the Vikings, which Patriots, of course, on the slide, in my opinion. But the Vikings are always a good hot team, and the Patriots, for TV purposes, people like to watch them play. So that's how it's probably going to roll,
You know how we were talking about the victor's curse with like the World Cup? The Rams
Yeah.
are the definition of the victor's curse for the
Oh
NFL.
gosh, that is also true. Yes, I can agree with that.
Like
They
the
have
victor's
been pretty
curse is
bad.
real.
All the time. I mean, unless you're the Patriots or like the Chiefs or like the Niners, like it doesn't apply to you.
Doesn't apply to you. No.
Yeah, because they won it all the time.
Yeah. I'm like, they dominate the sport. Yet right now, Rams are showing that the victor's curse might be a situation happening.
It's because they're still partying, bro. They're still drunk.
They're trying to give Chargers a chance. They're like,
Oh gosh.
let's get what we share a stadium. Let's each get a trophy in there. But like, who knows if it's gonna happen?
Hey man, that would be like so lucky and like coincidental if that were to happen.
That would be like historical. Like that would be insane. Having two teams share a stadium and both like win a Super Bowl back to back. Like who would predict that?
Nobody.
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 Because it'd be a miracle basically.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know I've talked a lot in this segment. Do you have anything to add on in regards to this wacky and wild NFL season that we're having right now?
Not really, but like super side tangent. But like when you watch like Back to the Future, they have like a book when he goes back and he finds the book of like who won every single team. It's insane. Like I kind of want that book. I'm like I want to see like
You mean the
the
sports
route.
almanac?
Yes, yes, I really want to see like the route this is going. Like
I'm
it was,
good. I'm gonna be surprised.
it's insane. Because
It is
I
insane.
for, I forget, but one of the predictions was super close. It was like who was gonna win like the for baseball. They predicted like I forget
It
if it was
was
like
the
Cubs.
Chicago Cubs. In the
The
movie, they
Chicago Cubs.
predicted really quick. Yeah, they predicted the Chicago Cubs to win in 2015, but they didn't win
And
it
it was
until
off by a
I think
year.
2016, but off by a year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
But
just by coincidence that they started playing good at that moment.
but that's insane to me. Like it was off by a year. So like a part of me really wants that book. But like we know it's not there.
You have to remember it's fake.
I know the optimism in me really wants
If you
it,
knew
but
who was
like
gonna win, you would know that the USA was gonna win this World Cup, bro.
I know. But like that'll be like I gotta watch every single game. I gotta see which plays led to the win.
Bruh. But yes. I think that's everything for the NFL. Our NFL wacky Wally, our wild wicked NFL season. Now we're just gonna move on. Are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So I hope you played a lot of video games growing up because we're going into the warm up and I don't know if everyone remembers, but for the warm up we do kind of like to change it up a bit and not necessarily talk about necessarily something too sports related, but here we're gonna go. Um, EA announced EA Sports, the video game company, announced that they will be releasing in 2024 another college football video game. And the reason why I put this in the warm up was because I grew up playing the shit out of this game. It was one of my favorite games to play as a kid. And as I got older, I didn't get to play as much. The last one that they did was NCAA Football 14, in which they're not gonna be able to call it that, I believe, anymore. But it it was very influential to me because like I played it like every day. I played as USC as much as I could. I know a lot of people love playing the dynasty mode, which is going to return. Was what they said. Um, so I'm kind of excited for this because, like I said, a lot of people play this game. Like as a kid, I pretended as if this was going to be my life. I was going to go play college football for. Don't hate me. I don't care. Suck it. I was about to go play football as a 9-year-old. I was going to go play for the University of Southern California and either be a wide receiver or a running back. And I was going to win the championships, all of them, with USC. Even though when I did the profile, I spelled my home city wrong, it's okay.
I I
Which I will not
mean,
disclose for personal reasons. But my dad did make fun of me because I spelled it wrong.
I mean, going back to USC, didn't they just beat UCLA like over the weekend?
Yes, yes, they did in a very close game. I was very scared, but yes, they did win. So, hey, if this game were to come back, y'all, I'm playing every rivalry if available because they also did say that most or not most, but a lot of FBS schools, which are I don't know if you know this, Alondra, like kind of like Division One, like they're all Division One kind of, but they're all
Mhm.
separated. like in different forms. Um, so FBS would be like USC and UCLA and other schools, big schools like that. They did off of the ESPN article, which I was getting this information from. They did ask about FCS and HBCUs, which they said maybe, but it's still work in progress. Currently, right now, they do have all rights secured for the 10 FBS conferences and the college football playoff. Which, hey, the playoffs right now, yo man, they're dicey. They're dicey. But yeah, I think this would be great. I'm just thinking like, what are they gonna put on the cover? Like the last guy that was on the cover in that NCAA 14 was for the former Michigan quarterback. I think Denard Robinson. I think he's like one of their like coaches or directors for Michigan right now. So it all kind of comes full circle, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I want to see how is this gonna work because, like I was explaining earlier, there's that NIL deal in which they're most likely going to have to pay players or pay the schools royalties just to have them in because this was the problem initially with the game towards the end of its lifespan because a lot of players want to get paid or not big name players necessarily, but like a lot of like I guess players that were noticing that there was something up with the system. They're like,
Hmm.
hey, like we're doing all this stuff and we're not getting nothing back for it, you know? So let's see where this goes. I mean, this NIL deal was a huge deal. It went all the way up to the government, the U.S. government. Like they had to figure this whole thing out. So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, what do you think about this? I don't know if you ever got to play this game or ever had any connection to it as much as I did.
See, I never got to play the game, but since like the since it was released and now, I feel like media has like changed, so that might also help promote the game and hopefully get the players to get paid. But also during that time span, you see like FIFA being released, so maybe taking that route of actually like promoting the players, getting them paid because at the end of the day, you can't just use somebody's face and expect it to like and expect not to pay them. It's like everybody's trying to earn a living. They're over here entertaining you. Give them a paycheck.
Yes, of course. Because yeah, it's like kind of dodgy. Like you're in a video game and it's like, hey, that's me.
Hey, that's me, but I'm not getting paid.
Yeah, exactly. But I think they'll figure it out. Of course, I was like, do they have any like models or something? And the article that I was seeing, um, they were, it was a picture of the Ohio Buckeye mascot. What?
Hmm.
He's a Buckeye, so yeah, obviously. So I'm like, all right, they got at least something rendered. Like they've been working on it. It's not just stuff that they imagine will work. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think back how many did I play. I think I played like four of them because like they come out with one every year, so it's like I think I
Yes.
had oh man, I'm trying to think. I might be I know I played '09. I think I played '10. I want to say I played 2011. I just don't remember which one was the last one I played because it's been so long and like I said it's changed. Some of those games I didn't even own. I rented them. So I played them when I could, but
Uh-huh.
I at least got to try it out. And
Yes.
yeah, I can remember like on like winter breaks or summer vacations where I just be playing it like every day, like trying to beat every team in alphabetical order. So like before like Alabama was like really good. I'm like, all right, start from the A's and trickle down and hope that I could win. And it's like, damn it, like go undefeated without losing. And like I think at one point I was like, all right, I'm gonna play all these teams, go undefeated and not lose. And if I lose, I have to start all over.
That's commitment and that is dedication.
I was 10 years
And
old, okay?
tell me why I had that same mindset when it came to Mortal Kombat. I'm that person that like had like two video games and it was like no, maybe three. It was like Wii Sports, Mario, and like Mortal Kombat. And Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat just happened to be one because of my brothers.
Uh-huh. It's like, what games did you play then? Like, if you give me like another list, like what did you play as a kid then?
So I did have my Guitar Hero era. I feel like every kid had their Guitar Hero era. Sally never learned how to play the guitar, so I want to learn. Mortal Kombat. I have two older brothers, and I was very lucky enough to have two older brothers that actually left the remote plugged in, so I was actually able to play against them. And I'm like, bless your heart, because keep in mind, my brothers and I have like one of me have like an 18-year age gap, an 11-year age gap. So playing with a 5-year-old, you're just like, what are you doing? But they kept the control plugged in. So I was able to play my Mario with them, my Mortal Kombat, and somehow those two like stuck with me to this day.
Oh, okay. I feel you. I feel you. Yeah. I played a little bit of Mario. Wait, Super Mario or Mario Kart?
Super Mario.
Super Mario. Okay, I was about to say, man,
Hmm.
I'll race you in Mario Kart, bro. I be smoking foods. I know
I,
the shortcuts too. I mean, I ain't all
I'm
that,
that
but I know
person
the
that falls
shortcuts.
off the track. I'm that person that will
Bruh.
fall off the track like on the first turn.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Hey, you just gotta practice, bro. And you gotta make sure
Hmm.
you don't got a fast car, cause sometimes if you got too fast of a car, you're gonna fall off the track. But
Honestly.
yeah. Let me see. Wait, did you play Mario Party by any chance?
See, I was that person that'll play Mario Party, would not know what to do, but somehow win.
Because it was a wacky game. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'll be like the last person to choose a like selection and somehow I'll win. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's working. Sometimes you gotta be a little wacky in order to
Oh no,
win.
yeah, of course. Oh no, yeah, and of course in Mario Party, like you could be in last place and then like it'll give you like because it does like awards at the end. It's like, oh, like person to get second place all the time, Alondra. And then it'd be like person that got all the stars, Alondra. And it's like, wait a minute, like the first place person be like, wait, I won all the games. How did I lose right here?
That actually happened to me when I played. I was like, I was everybody was looking at me like because I had a confused look on my face, like, what is happening? And they're like, I like how you didn't know what you were doing, yet you won because you got all the stars. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I was clicking random buttons until something worked.
Bruh. But no, yeah, it
Mm.
all sounds good. But hey, do you think you'll be picking up a controller again and playing some, well, whatever they call this, EA college football? I guess that's what they're gonna call it. Comes out in the
I
summer,
mean,
2024.
I have my Nintendo Switch Lite, so like, if they come out with a Nintendo Switch game, I'll for sure grab it and
I mean, I
test
wouldn't be
it.
surprised.
I mean, I'm exposing myself right now, but like my two games on that is like Pokemon and like Mortal Kombat.
Bruh. Hey, Pokemon's good. I like me some Pokemon. Some Pokemon Go back in the day.
It's a little stressful sometimes though. It could get a little stressful
Why though?
when you're trying to move up a level and you have to like defeat the trainer and they have like three different Pokemons thrown at you and you're just like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Well, yeah, isn't that the point of Pokemon, Alondra?
Yeah, I
Bruh.
mean, I started playing when it was on the Game Boy with my brothers, but like
Yeah.
now, it's like I go on it once in a while, so it's like
Hey, that sounds like a you
the
pro. Hey,
nostalgia.
that sounds like a you problem.
I like how you're stealing my line because I always use that against you.
That sounds like a you problem,
It sounds like
madame.
a it sounds like a me and a first world problem. Like I'm over here complaining about Pokemon. Like when you hear that, it's like, is she okay? Like there's other things in the world happening, and she's over
Well,
here.
of course. I mean,
And
bro, come on. It's Pokemon.
like, but speaking of other things, do you have any other topics you want to talk about?
I mean, I think that's mostly it. I just wanted to like kind of our warm up topic for today. Like, yeah, like EA NCAA was very influential to me. Hopefully it comes out good right out the gate. Like how you said, we're in a totally different landscape in the gaming world. Like, there's a
Mm-hmm.
reason why even FIFA is no longer going to work with EA because they want to try to do their own thing. And even if EA was still making a regular FIFA game, it it wouldn't be the same as it was before, especially with microtransactions being very popular nowadays. So
Hmm.
we'll have to wait and see what happens when it comes out, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, I think that is everything in the rundown. Sorry, excuse me, the warm up. Now, sorry, it's been a hot minute. I haven't done this in a while, okay, guys? But yeah, now it's time to go into our final segment of the rundown, in which I have simplified it for today's episode because, as I said, it's been a hot minute. I have Alondra here, her first podcast ever, her first podcast ever, and like I said, I wanted to keep it a little bit easy, okay? So in the rundown, we've been gone for a while, and I thought, what haven't I talked about yet? And it's been all the damn championships that have passed by since like forever that have already come and gone. So Alondra, do you know who won the Super Bowl last year? You already mentioned it before.
Rams and the Rams. I
Bruh.
was about to do like a high school chant because my high school mascot was the Rams, but I'm like that's a little too cheesy.
Oh
Like
gosh.
you
You should have
like
just done it.
it's the Rams in the front. Let me hear you grunt. And then we have like Rams on a rampage. Like I feel like that
Bulls
championship
on
was like
parade. Oh.
that doesn't make sense.
It's a song. It's Rage Against the Machine. Bulls on parade. Da-da, da-da-da. But
I
yeah,
mean,
the Rams were victorious over the Cincinnati Bengals in
in
what?
their house. You
In
gotta
their
remember
house.
that.
Hey, you want to was I just like to bring this up real quick. The Rams were technically the away team.
They were the away team, and it was their home. You just see a stadium full of orange. Like, but then I couldn't
It,
sleep that whole night because LA was partying the whole night,
I
and
know,
it's
right?
like best thing ever.
Yeah, it was all right.
Mm.
But yeah, another championship news. The Golden State Warriors were once again NBA champions. What you know about the NBA and the Warriors, Alondra?
Basketball, right?
Yes, bruh.
Bruh.
Can you guys tell Alondra has her niche athletic liking?
Can you tell I'm very biased towards one sport because it's happening? Yeah.
Hey, it's all good. Hey, we'll have you on here more. We'll have you doing some homework. I'll give you some notes to go over a little bit better. We'll get this thing rolling.
Because it was Golden State Warriors versus who again?
I don't even remember. TBH, it's been that long. Hey guys, I've been busy, okay?
So
But
you're criticizing my sport knowledge. Because I remember, because it was like a very tight game, wasn't it? Like the
uh,
playoffs, it was like very back and forth.
I want to say no because I feel like they played the Celtics. It was, yeah. They beat them. Well, in the beginning, it was 2-2, and then it went 3-2, and then the series ended 4-2, in which the Celtics never stood a chance. The Warriors
Hmm.
just turned on the afterburners and left them behind. But yeah, California once again was rocking with another championship, but this time in the Bay Area.
I mean, it's time for the Bay to carry their weight. They rely too much on LA teams to win. We
I
need
mean,
them
they
to
did
carry
look.
some of the slack.
I mean, the Warriors have been winning championships. How many times did they play the Cavaliers? Like 3 times already in the finals when they had LeBron.
Hmm.
Like
True.
they've been doing it. They've been doing their job. But yes, that was in the NBA, and we kind of mentioned this before, but in the MLB, in the World Series champions, and
This hurts my
it
heart.
does bother me to say this, but the Houston Astros defeated the Philadelphia Phillies to become two-time MLB champs, not back to back, two-time. Even though in
Hmm.
some places they'll say this is the only time they've won, but I digress. In which I will stop talking about the Houston Astros winning the MLB World Series. How about you, Alondra?
See, that still hurts my heart because our LA Dodgers had such a good season, and just not even to make it hurts my heart. It's like, why are you
You mean
doing
what?
this to
You
me?
mean when they screwed the pooch?
Yes, we're leaving it at that. It's like very, it's like still like Trump. Like Post-trauma stress.
Oh gosh, it's okay, bro. It's okay.
Mm.
All right, moving on. In the MLS, um, winning their first trophy, starting out in 2018, Los Angeles Football Club (LAFC) won their first MLS Cup, excuse me, against the Philadelphia Union in a stellar, shocking penalty shootout win in which the Union were up. What was it? 3-2 with 2 minutes
Yeah.
left, and the man, the myth, the legend, Gareth Bale, the guy that only needs one chance, one moment to change the face of a soccer match, a football game, tied it up, giving LAFC the chance to win it in penalties, in which they did, and they are your 2022 MLS Cup champions. They are in the past couple of years the last team currently to go to win Supporter Shield and MLS Cup. The last team to do that was Toronto FC, and then the team before that was the LA Galaxy. So they kind of filled in their shoes a bit, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
So look, see, another LA team won, Alondra. It's all good
Another
in the hood.
another LAT one. See, the Mexicana and me will be like happy about this if they would have taken Carlos Vela to the World Cup.
You want to know who else is not in the World Cup?
Mr. Chicharito.
Yeah, but it's okay. They both don't want to be there anyway.
Chicharito wanted to be there. That's the thing. That's my issue.
Hey, you don't know. We don't know that. He hasn't said. He just said it'd be cool. But yeah, I digress. And more soccer championship news. In the NWSL, the Portland Thorns took home the trophy. They won their game 2-0, I believe, over the Chicago Red Stars. I think that's what they call it. No, they beat KC. Excuse me. They beat KC. They have the same colors. They beat KC 2-0. But yeah, shout out to them ladies taking the cup. Very quickly, we are called Rambling Runoff, and I know some of you follow me on Instagram. I will post when I can running content in which I like to give a shout out to Caitlin Toy, who won the 2022 Women's Cross Country individual race and was the champion. She ran a time of 19 minutes and 27 seconds. And shout out to Charles Hicks, who became the 2022 Men's Cross Country individual national champ with a time of 28 minutes and 43 seconds. So shout out to you guys, my running homies. Long live the runners. But Alondra, I will leave you to talk about this last topic on our list because you're the one that brought it up, and I believe it is also important. So take us home. What do we got to know on this last topic in the rundown?
So, in recent news, Man United announced their departure from Cristiano Ronaldo after the World Cup, which is we maybe some might say we saw it coming. Some might find it a little shocking. Personally, I do not know which team Mr. Ronaldo is going to go to because I think he has to go to a different team to finish off his season, or you can't just retire a legend like that. But like, he needs a proper retirement. He needs his final season. He tried to do it at Man United, the club that saw him grow, the club that saw the legacy happen, but sadly it didn't work out. What are your
Oh
thoughts on
yeah,
the situation?
I mean, I'm gonna try to keep it frank, but yeah, it's fairly disappointing that you know that he's gonna have to go out this way. I mean, you gotta admit he lit up the spot.
He did.
He went on Pierce Morgan and said, "Yeah, these guys suck. I don't like the coach. The organization is just being run terribly ever since Alex Ferguson left. Like, this is not the same club I was with when I was a kid, bro. Like, this is not it. Like, you're not that guy, bro." But I don't know where he's gonna go next. He could go to another team in Europe. He could try to win somewhere else. Um, Maybe he could go to Liga MX, MLS. And if he's money hungry, he goes somewhere in China. The Chinese Super League loves their stars, and particularly the only stars they can get once in a while. But you don't know what he's gonna do. Hey, this man almost ended up at Man City, by the way. So he could end up anywhere he wants to.
I mean, but like Man City got Haaland, so who
That is
knows?
true. But yeah, you never know. But
I
yeah,
I
what are
don't
you gonna
want to bring
say?
this up, but like Man United, it keeps having scandal after scandal with their players. Like, what is happening?
It's just Ronaldo might be right. I do agree he is somewhat of a diva, but whenever he opens his mouth, I feel like he is saying the truth, and it's a poorly run club, unfortunately, nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the American owners, I think it's not the Kroenkes, I forgot who it is, but if they want to sell the club, then it's time to sell the club.
Honestly, but like, who knows?
But
Because
yeah,
once
it's
Ronaldo leaves, the value.
oh yeah, of course the value's gonna go down,
Mm-hmm.
down the toilet. But yeah, Man U and Ronaldo agreed to part separately during the World Cup, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there
See,
anything else you'd like to? Oh, what are you gonna say? What you got? What you got?
see, a part of me feels like if Portugal wins the World Cup, he might just retire then and there. But who knows if he might just go to a different club and actually finish
I
his
don't think
season.
so. He wants
Yeah.
to keep playing for sure. I
Mm-hmm.
highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Like, yeah, he's getting
Mm,
older, but I highly doubt he would just end his career like that.
yeah, he deserves a proper send away, like a proper like send away to the for his career because he inspired so many people to actually play the sport. So a legend needs a proper team to finish the season at. I don't know which team it's
Yeah,
gonna be, but
me
who
either.
knows?
I hold the same sentiment though. Yeah, hopefully he gets a good send off somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. But
Fingers
yeah,
crossed.
is that all that you got for us in the rundown? 'Cause if not, we good.
I think that's it.
Alrighty then. I guess I think this is the point where I start playing the outro music. So yeah. Thank you for listening to Rambling Runoff. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and make sure you also hit the like button. If you're on Spotify, give us a follow, give us a like. If you would like to hear more from us on more from Rambling Runoff, follow us on Twitter at Off Rambling and on Instagram with Rambling Runoff. Plus, we do still have our TikTok. I did not forget about TikTok. I still got you guys. Alondra, where can they find you on the socials?
I am on Instagram as Alondra Abundeztalks. I promise if Robert has me back, I'll be more educated. I'll do some more homework. I'll watch some more sports to be more well-rounded.
Oh no, it's all good in the hood. I'm just glad that we had a good connection and we were able to get this whole thing rolling. You feel me?
Yes, I feel that. I feel like I talk too much sometimes and I do not make any sense. But like, hey, we're rambling, so it works out.
But it's all good. But yeah, thank you to our listeners for listening to Rambling Runoff once again. I've been your host, Robert Rios. Have a good night or good day. See you next time. Bye.